Hi all, I'd like to do the first in a 10-minute nutshell game, and for this game I'm choosing the game Morozevich against Petursson. This was played in Lloyds Bank Masters 1994, which John Saunders has kindly created, got all the PGNs. If you look at BritBase, you need to check out BritBase, excellent piece of work, John Saunders. So this game actually might have a little bit of controversy over which move was played at move 15, and I'm going to highlight that. So this was Morozevich's first major international tournament that he won, just at the age of 17. So he won it with 9.5 out of 10, and I've killed a bit of tension here. It's a possibility it might be a draw, right? I'm showing you a draw. It's possible, but okay. Morozevich against Petursson, E4. So this was in round 8, the 27th of August. One day before my birthday, actually, 1994. So the Sicilian defence, Nf3 Nc6, Bishop B5, D6. So this system with the Bishop B5 is the Moscow variation, kind of. So Rook E1, Knight F6. White is constructing a kind of nice centre that you usually do in the royal pairs. The bishop goes back, Bishop G4, D4. Not being discouraged by this pin. C takes, C takes. Now black plays D5. If he tries to like win this pawn, well, white has got the option of G takes, and this should be okay for white. For example, like this, even though it's might look bad, this position is actually technically quite good for white as an example. So actually we have D5, E5, the knight going back. Bishop E3, E6. Although the knight's gone back, that F5 square is likely to be a nice square for black now. Knight BD2, knight F5. Not minding knight takes E3 here. Bishop D3. Now for the moment, there's no knight takes D4 because we can just take here and then play Queen A4 check, winning at a piece. You'll see this mechanism here, we can win a piece. And that actually helps the logic of what actually happened here at move 15. I have mentioned it to John Saunders. I don't believe Bishop B1 has been played. I emailed him just prior to this video preparation, actually. I believe it's Queen B1, which chessgames.com have. This is the most likely move, I believe, because this tactic stops knight takes D4. But if we go with Bishop B1, I just want to show this on the board. Queen D7 is stopping the Queen A4 thing. So if the game continuation was here, then any knight can actually take on D4 with that pin, which is good for black. I don't think this makes sense. So I believe it should be Queen B1. And it leaves the rest of the game intact, actually. So I'm going to go with Queen B1 here. Queen D7. B4, Bishop H5. With that queen is unpinned, so D4 was protected there. This is a very interesting move, Rook A2, as though the rook's going to be using the second rank now, potentially later for an attack. Black castles H3, King H8, Rook F1. White is building up for a potential attack here. He has got a bind on the queen side. And now he just goes for it. G4, knight takes, Bishop G6. Is black solid? This is the fascinating thing about this game. Bishop takes G6, H takes G. Morozevich totally impressed me in this tournament. Although I can't find any of my games for it. I don't think I played anyone too strong in the PGN file. But I do remember the demo board position like at the end of this game. And I wondered, how does he do this? How does he get these hack attack positions? And here it's like, well, white's lost his aggressive attacking bishop. So how does white build up an attack? But you see after knight b3, this looks quite dangerous. There's something brewing here against the black king. Knight a7, knight c5, queen c6, a4, extinguishing the b5 square for a moment from black. b6, the knight goes back. King g8. And now h4, the king is a subject of attention here. We'll see. Queen d7, g5. So it looks as though can't black do anything with that c file. It's not being attested. But this is a really clever thing about g5. It fixes down g6. Now h5. This makes a lot more sense than if the bishop had been on b1 now, because in this line, after g takes knight f4, it's clear to see that g6 is not on the cards for black here, because knight takes g6. With the queen on b1, this is just at least a perpetual, but it's actually just totally winning in this particular position anyway. But yeah, the queen on b1 makes this whole thing totally work, that g6 is impossible. So we have rook takes e3, knight takes h5, and this is a really clever bit. One of my favourite attacking friends is made use of here. Morozevich to play. Guess what he plays in this position if I give you 5 seconds. Okay, knight f6 check. After bishop takes, g takes, there's a major form pawn. That's my favourite thing, the form pawn. It's really dangerous. And look at this rook, it's ready to swing to g2. So it looks totally out of the question to be able to do much here. We have g6, rook c2. Now here is another point where, queen takes a4 you might think is a defense, but in this position, if queen takes a4, rook g2, we're threatening immediately rook g6. It's fairly simple that rook g6 is threatened, and if black tries to address it, can you see what white can play? Okay, king f2. Yeah, this is really crushing for rook h1. Black can just delay things, but he's getting murdered with the rook h1 coming up. Yeah, this position is going to be end of game. So yeah, after rook c2, queen d7. Actually, the game ender now. White just plays queen c1. Yeah, the queen wants to get into h6 to support the form pawn. And yeah, I just remember this. How did this happen? This is like, he's just really hacking to death all of these like GMs. He was like just 17. For someone to come to the Lloyds Bank Masters, one of my favourite tournaments at the time, score a 9.5 out of 10 score. This is one of the massacres. The one, it left some aesthetic attacking imprint. The demo board in my mind. I've been wanting to show this game for like weeks actually, and I don't think I can do justice to it in the 5 minutes. We've still got 2 minutes to go. So I don't know what it demonstrates, but I tell you, it's a lot trickier if you play it with bishop b1. If you want to try this game with bishop b1, let's ignore black can just win the pawn. But funny enough, I worked out, I managed to get the variations still working, even with the queen on d1, which is funny. Even with, say, g6 here, I got the variations working. I was wondering, this could be the game, because knight takes, this is actually winning for white as well. Engine checking this, white can actually brew up a fantastic attack here. Maybe, fundamentally white did have a good attacking position. This is like a forced win as well for white, basically. It's going to be mating, if that was a plausible defensive move. But yeah, so I've made both variations, bishop b1 and queen b1, work here. Hence, yeah, I wanted to quickly mention this controversy, and we really have, now we're down to less than a minute for the 10-minute nutshell. But I hope you enjoyed this digression, a bit of complexity around this game score. Okay, and we'll look at some more Morozevich games, I think, from this tournament. Thanks very much. Comments, questions, likes appreciated.